Scott Williford with vLink Solutions, and I'm back with Chris Lusk of What Counts. And Chris, we ended our last episode talking a little bit and just getting into the area of content.
Right.
And you touched on some of the technology issues about how to get your email through some of the spam and how to deal with some of that. But obviously on the internet, content is king. And I would think with email, content is just as important, if not more so. So what are some practical tips, some things that your company and you guys have figured out are so critical for companies of creating quality content that people will actually open and read?
Yeah, it's a $1 million question. It really comes down to that person's business. And what we try to advise our clients on is obviously give content that your readers are going to want to read. And then the next question behind that is, well, how do I know? And the easiest way to answer that is just simply ask them. If you've been in the game this long, you pretty much know what your people want from you, but you can't overdo it. And what I mean by that is don't try to kill yourself on delivering content every single day. If you can't do it, if you're employee-based right now, you can't deliver that much content, don't try to deliver that much content. And what we actually find is a lot of our customers, they want to deliver a weekly newsletter, but their readers don't want it. All right? So they'll see a lot of fall off. And so we ask them to do things like have a survey or a poll and ask people, why have you unsubscribed, or how can we do better? A lot of times when you sign up, you may actually see the survey form ask you, do you want this weekly, do you want this monthly, bi-weekly, whatever the case may be. That's a great practice. So when you figure out the frequency at which your subscribers want to receive your messages, then you can start refining your message through A/B split testing, let's say.
Right.
What we also recommend is stay on top of current events. If you're in the type of industry that reacts to current events, let's say deliver stock news or whatever the case may be, that's great content. But you also don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you're already writing a blog, let's say, or a video blog, deliver that in your message. It's okay to reproduce that content to get people to your website. Because let's face it, I have some sites that I go to every single day, but I don't go every day, right? So can I start that over?
No.
Can I cut that? Can't cut it?
No.
Okay. But no, there's some sites that I would like to visit every day, but I get their email messages instead, right? And so I can see if this interests me, then I'll go to the website, then I'll go to the blog, and I'll read the content.
Yeah, this is not a scripted conversation, as you can tell.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it, Chris.
Okay.
It's fine. So I think one of the things you touched on is repurposing of content, right? So a lot of people are worried about generating their content for their blog. You know, we're told we got to do blog posts, we got to do Twitter, we got to do email newsletters, we got to do videos. So, you know, you're advising, create great content and repurpose it, right?
Right. I mean, there's some situations where you want to have multi-channel marketing or you want to have cross-channel marketing. So there's certain situations where you will recreate content. There's certain situations where you may be talking specifically, let's say, to your Facebook audience, and you'll deliver this type of message.
Right.
And you'll be talking to your subscriber audience, so you'll deliver a completely separate kind of message. And that's okay. It's about you understanding your audience and then delivering the messages and the content that they want. I mean, there really is no silver bullet behind content. It just takes time. It takes trial and error. It certainly takes some testing to see what people want, and not getting your feelings hurt when people unsubscribe, because it's going to happen.
Yeah, so for a small company, which there's a lot of them, 98% of the country, 98% of the businesses today are under 100 employees. So there's a lot of small businesses out there who don't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. You know, time is a factor.
Sure.
It's even more important for them, right? I mean, to really pay attention to what they're doing. Absolutely.
I mean, starting it once a month is certainly key. You definitely want to have something once a month to stay on top of your subscribers' minds, right? You would like to be able to send them something that they're going to want to see on a monthly, and then you ask them, hey, do you want this every single week? And whatever content you're giving, just keep track of it. It's okay to repeat. Let's say 6 months later you say the same thing, that's okay. But just stay on top of the numbers. See if people are joining your list or they're leaving your list, and get a good understanding why.
You know, you're setting up a great question. We're running out of time in this episode, so we're going to come back to that about getting people online, getting people to subscribe.
Right.
So we'll come back with Chris Lusk in just a few minutes in our next episode and talk more about how to get customers to sign up I think that's the $1,000,000 questions. Okay,
Right.
I've got content, I got a delivery mechanism. How do I get my customers to want to hear what I got to say? So we'll be back shortly, and thank you for watching.